What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles Weekly Pick'em Playoff Edition. Happy New Year! It's 2021. I know you missed us just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. I missed you guys. I did. I missed all the fun comments. I missed Brandon. I missed you, B. Coach, I missed you. D. Jones, I missed you. I had fun in the sun. Then I went up to the canyons, and now it's time to, handle a little business. First, let's make sure that everybody knows, after a wonderful 17 weeks of football, who was in last place. That's right. Coach B. Pat is our official loser for the 2020 regular season. Now, we all knew every week who was in last place, and we want to thank y'all for playing along with him to hype him up. Because he was never in the lead, ever, ever, ever. And his chances, he has better luck playing horseshoes. So, if he is your lottery companion, I advise you to pick a new partner.
Don't let him pick no numbers.
None. Look, quick pick. Or have him be the driver to the store. But that's about it. So
next year.
Yeah, he need more than next year. But we still want to take some time and have a good time with the playoffs because, we were a little disappointed last week. Some of the games didn't turn out the way we wanted them to. Not as far as who should win, but as far as we thought they would be a little bit more competitive. We didn't come on last week. We all agreed on every game. So it was pretty consistent and everybody we picked won. So there isn't much to talk about. But this week we have two games that have a high probability of snow. And so we'll get right to it with the first one. It's, of course, LA versus Green Bay. And y'all already know who I'm picking because it's very clear that I only pick LA when the other team just has to be incredibly pathetic because I like the sport golf, GOLF. But, of course, in fairness, he does have the injury, but it's the playoffs. Nobody cares.
Are you injured or you hurt?
You injured or you hurt. I love that about you, D. If you injured, don't play. If you hurt, be quiet. Just play.
You can play hurt.
You can play hurt. And you can play cold. So it's supposed to snow Sunday. So I don't know how that throwing hand will work in the snow. But I know how it feels to be a fan sitting in that snow. But I'm going with Green Bay. Coach Pat?
This is an easy one. I'm going with Green Bay because they're in Lambeau in the snow. Golf has that thumb issue. The next quarterback up is Blake Bortles. Blake. And so that's the next one. And Rodgers, I think they're on a mission. So Green Bay will be heading to the NFC Championship game, in my opinion.
You don't have a choice but to finally get something right. So, D. Jones, tell us about your team. Who are you picking?
Green Bay is 6.5-point favorites in this game. Mainly, it's going to be a good game because you got the number one scoring offense versus the number one scoring defense. So you're talking about a high of 36, 40% chance of snow. Green Bay throws in the snow. We kind of talk about that.
Throws.
The game plan doesn't change with them, no matter if there's snow or not. So I'm riding with Green Bay, of course. Aaron Donald is a grown man, and he scares me. But I think in the end, and I'm going to love to see the matchup with Ramsey and Adams, because they like to move Adams around to try to get him in favorable matchups. I want to see if Ramsey is going to move with him because he'll be in the slot, he'll be outside. Yeah. I know Ramsey's going to want to, and as much as Ramsey is the best corner in the game, and I respect him, he has his moments where he will let you get by him, and I don't think he can lose focus against Adams. As long as those speedsters catch the ball when Aaron throw it to him, Green Bay covers this spread and Green Bay wins.
So, a question about that before we move on. Do you think that Ramsey will get him every snap if they're in man coverage? Or do you think, because I think, with the skill set of Rodgers, that if he's not on him every snap, Rodgers going to catch that. And whenever he see it, he going to make it work.
Well, one thing about Rodgers is going to test him anyway. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's the type of corner that's going to take Adams completely out the game. They'll just get more creative on how they move him. I think Ramsey definitely will want to follow him as much as he can. I'm eager to see if the defensive coaches allow him to say, hey, you got 17 and that's it. Because Green Bay is going to try to play that chess game. They're going to try to move him around. They're going to try to get him in favorable matchups. They're going to get him in motion, and that's going to tell a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers what the coverage is instantly. So it'll be a good little chess match to see what goes there. If the offensive line can hold up against that defensive line, I think Green Bay is fine here.
What's interesting is, our viewers tonight, they are really picking the Rams. So we got Michael Conley, he got the Rams 2013, and Will, he has the Rams 27-14. That's a big spread, Will. I mean, dang, you giving a lot of credit to Tom Thumb, but okay. That's interesting.
They don't have an offense. Even with the flaws in Green Bay's defense, they don't have an offense to do that.
Well,
I
say that, because, like you said, Adams will be moving around left to right. I think Ramsey's going to stay with him the whole game.
I think
it's just a matter. It's just going to be a chess match, whether or not they're going to try to get funneled or double team. But the good thing about Rodgers is he will find a matchup. It don't matter if the tight end has never caught a ball ever in his life. And if he's open, he's open. If it's a matchup that he seems is favorable, it's not like he's just going to throw the Adams every time. He's going to use Adams as a decoy starting off the game, I think. And then they'll find some kind of way to get him in the third or fourth quarter with Adams out there.
Oh, for sure. He's not going to lock in on him. There's too many other weapons out there.
Right.
Watch the tight end. Watch those running backs. It's too many weapons.
Well, good for you, D. Jones, because our late viewers caught up with you, and now they riding with you. We got Kelly, Harmon, and Eric all riding with the Packers. So, we actually think that, yes, Will, they have a great secondary, but Green Bay has a great quarterback. So let's move on. They have
Ramsey. They have Ramsey. They got some other good guys.
I think, but we have to. But I think in fairness, what he's using now is this point at 16 games. Statistically, they have the better secondary. But we also know that you still have the effect of a Rodgers. I mean, he is the guy that can throw the Hail Mary in a snowstorm. Yeah. So it is what it is. I'm looking for snow angels. So we're going to move on to the next game, and that's the Ravens versus the Bills. Fun fact, Lamar said he has never played in snow. Being from Florida, he hasn't had the opportunity to play a game in snow. He's not looking forward to snow. But if he does end up in a snow game, which the forecast says that he most likely will, I anticipate a little bit more running, and I think they'll still be pretty successful at it, honestly. And I haven't picked for this game. Can you believe it? I really haven't picked, mainly because of the weather, right? I'm trying to figure out who are the Ravens in the snow. I know who they are in the cold, but I don't know who they are in the snow. And I'm trying to imagine, Lamar having to figure out which way to go. And they're on the road. So I want Lamar to win, though. I mean, I gave Bills what I thought they deserved. Redemption from last year. They got the division. They got the first round win. That's great. But I'm going to pick the Ravens. What you say, D. Jones?
This one is tough. If we had a game of the week, I'd probably say this one was the one. Because you run in the snow typically, right? So typically you want that running game is going to be there. Their weather prediction is pretty much exactly the same as Green Bay. 36 degrees is the high, 50% chance of snow in Buffalo by the time the game starts. Buffalo is a 2.5 point favorite here. So that's respect to Baltimore.
Right.
Baltimore is rolling. They are doing, they on a good run here. I expect this to be a really, really tight game. Um, I want to get on the Buffalo bandwagon here. I really do. But Josh Allen just tends to make the mistakes at the wrong time. As good as he's playing, I think, wow, the secondary is decent. The Baltimore defensive line and their fronts is playing very well. I'm going Baltimore. I'm going Baltimore in a really tight game, but
Me too.
I don't feel good on this one.
And coach, before you go, it was just as hard for me too, D. Like, I don't even know what you're going to say, Coach Pat, but I know that it was hard for me to pick. Like, literally, I picked when I announced it just on the show.
Same
All
here.
day, I've been trying to think, like, logically, and I looked at the weather, but even with the weather, I was like, if I count on reliability, I don't expect Lamar to put me in a position of, as somebody said, Derek talking about 4 interceptions by the Bills. I just don't see, Lamar having that type of inefficient game. But at the same time, I think that, like I said all year, I think the Bills, they benefited from who we expected the Colts to be, So, and that's just in fairness, because they were to me, the Colts were really a stronger defensive team than they were offensively, right? So
Buffalo been throwing up points all year. They've been putting up.
I know that,
offense is cooking. The defense
but my point is, they didn't blow out the Colts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it was and they found themselves depending on Josh Allen to give them the game.
Yeah.
I mean, so
football. That's what we expect from playoff football.
yeah, that's the same football he had last year, though. We just had a little bit more dynamic of a QB on the other side. So when you say that,
But Josh Allen also making mistakes at the wrong time, right? So he still has that one flaw in his game where even when they pretty much had this game locked up last week, and then he takes a sack and a fumble and almost lose the ball at the 50-yard line. So it's like, dude, you have got to hold the ball at the right times and not let those mistakes happen. And he puts his team in those positions. And I think he's going to put his team in that position this week. And it's going to be the one thing that Baltimore needs to go up. It's on you, Coach.
This is going to come down to the defensive coordinators, Leslie Frazier, Wink. Both of them are head coaching candidates, by the way. So I think this is going to be a field goal game. Like you said, it's a toss-up. The 2.5, is giving Baltimore credit, whatnot. I'm going with Baltimore on this one. Part of the reason why is I trust their defense a little bit better than Buffalo. I just think Baltimore has been there as far as the coaching standpoint in being in a game that they must win deep in the playoffs. And Baltimore is on a nice little winning streak. They haven't lost since they almost lost that Cleveland game when Lamar came out the locker room. Yes. And like you said, being a snow game, it doesn't matter, especially if you're a run team. If you're a run team, that helps out. It would be something different if they were just throwing the ball all over the yard and go with that Lamar. Josh Allen, I said I didn't trust him in one of the games. He goes out and throws 400 yards, and then goes out and throws another 400 yards. And like you said, he almost gave up the game last week and throwing the fumbling the ball left and right. So I think Baltimore's just going to be a little bit more focused, and it's going to be. Hopefully, this is going to be a back and forth game. So,
shout out to Michael. He said he see what. Right, Brandon in his field goal games.
Yep, field goal game.
I'm with you on this one, though. Yep. It's gonna be a Tucker game.
Oh goodness!
Justin Tucker gonna have the last kick.
Look,
it's a wrap.
Look. All I know is I was looking at my plans for the weekend, and I was like, I'm not moving Saturday night, so this game better not be a blowout, because I didn't want to have any plans for this game to interfere. I wanted to go eat, but I can't eat with this game on. I need to be like just honed in, like locked all the way in. So we'll be in the group chat. I mean,
For sure.
for sure. So I mean, we picked the same, but I don't think it's gonna be a field goal game. But you know, that's why I miss you, Coach. That's why I miss you. I can always count on you.
You think it's gonna be more than a field goal game? 2.5 point spread.
I do. I do think it's still going to be at least a full possession, a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be a field goal game. I really do. Mainly, you know, I don't think they're going to set the record, right? But I do think this will be a rushing touchdown game more than a passing touchdown game. Other than maybe you slip in the snow. I don't know. But, you know, Lamar got them jets. So you trying to grab Lamar in the snow. I don't know how that's going to work out. That ain't the same as just loading up the box in sunny weather. So,
Okay. All right.
all right, we're going to move on to Sunday. We got the Browns versus the Chiefs. We got OBJ sending out tweets talking about, hey, don't be surprised if Cleveland pull off the upset. And I know it's a ton of people sitting in Kansas City, Missouri saying, yeah, whatever. Starting with my boy, Dwayne Johnson, who's watching the show. And he clearly has already said that the Chiefs are running it back. So in order for them to run it back, that would mean he has already picked the Chiefs to win. In a close one, he said 34-31. I do not think that the Browns will get ran out the building in Missouri, but I just don't see the Chiefs losing. I don't, my concern is I don't see who stops the run game of the Browns, but I don't see who stops the passing game of Mahomes, because the theory that we know that works, right? You keep Mahomes on the bench as much as possible. Obviously, Cleveland has the style of offense that works best for. They have a great 1-2 punch at the run game. And every now and then, if you need one from Baker, you can get it. And they have a great opportunity to keep him on the bench as much as possible. But he got that arm that don't need much time to score. I'm going to hold my pick.
No, you can't hold it.
Who name on the show?
Oh, my bad. You like
No, I ain't gonna do that.
I forget about the logo.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. Coach.
Chiefs in a blowout.
And look, look, I put the perfect comment up. Kelly said Browns have to control the clock if they don't want it to be a blowout, and that's my point. But they have a team capable of doing it. I don't know if they ready to do it. D. Jones?
Chiefs in the blowout.
It's not going to be a blowout. I'm with Dwayne. 34-31 Chiefs. The Chiefs' experience is going to win. Is going to win this game. Their defense is not great. Their defense will not stop Cleveland's offense, and so it will be some scoring in this game. But Cleveland's secondary is banged up. I don't know if Ward is coming back this week. They will not stop Kansas City. So in the end, the only chance that I would give the Browns is what you guys already said, and some of the viewers already said. If they can control the clock and keep Mahomes on the sidelines, that's their best effort. They will not go up 28-0 this week. They will not have cocky Pittsburgh on the other side. The Chiefs will come ready to play, and I think. In the end, like I said, with Dwayne, 34-31 Chiefs.
So, Will, I got your comment up. Make sure we gave Hodge a shout out. I don't know if he was injured, so he didn't play last week. So I don't know if he
had a lot of. That's why that game last week was crazy.
So, but still shout out because he PV. That's PVU all the way. So we got to show that respect. But I just can't believe he picked the Browns. I can't believe we're talking about the Browns in mid-January. This is crazy.
Hey, he's a Bengals fan. Come on now.
I'm not talking about that. We're talking about the Browns. The Browns are still playing. It's just the whole idea of like they still playing.
Man, the Browns got talent.
No,
they do.
they've had talent the last 2 years. We've said that already. So, I mean, it's not that we didn't think they had talent. It's just that finally something got together, and it's the Browns. I mean, all you think is doo-doo Brown. But, okay. So, we're going to move on.
Don't stop. Keep it. Don't stop. Keep it.
All right. Okay. Okay. I thought I was at PV. We didn't have homecoming this year.
You still got a few more hours.
Okay. Last game. Well, I'm turning up all month. So let me have this PSA. If you want to take me to Zoom lunch, you can send me a gift card, and I will go to lunch and send you pictures of the food. If you want to, we can talk on Zoom. No, I shouldn't say that because it might be some people I don't want. No, I ain't gonna say that because that is not true. No. I will take a gift card and I will send you pictures that I went to eat on my birthday. Let me keep it real, because that would be an absolute lie, because we all know how I am about my food and my time. So don't let me pretend, even for the fans. I like y'all, but it might be the wrong one. I done already had an incident with my delivery with food. Hey, side note, it happened to me again today, guys.
Dang.
The dude parked.
Same guy?
No, different guy.
Wow.
He parked this time, right? And he was like, so he didn't know that it was me yet, right? You know, like he don't know who's coming, because it wasn't the one that showed you the picture of the people. Yeah. So I go downstairs and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get the food. And I'm texting. I'm like, where are you? And he's parked. And so you can see him looking at me in the rearview mirror because he's parked. And I can see him looking. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get the bag. So he sticks the bag out the window for me to get it. So when I get close enough to get it, he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, okay, it's time to go back. So at first you was trying to be COVID friendly and stick my food out the window, and now you like, so then I'm like, he changed that tone and everything. So then I was like, you know, I graciously said thank you. Okay, I graciously said thank you for my food. And he was like, yeah, you have a nice day. So then he backs out, and I'm walking back to go to the elevator, and he just cruising alongside me. I was like, this is the most uncomfortable walk to the elevator. Like, like that's just the worst, when you can't do nothing. You just gotta walk.
Oh yeah, you know they look at you. I hate to see you leave. I hate to see you leave, but I love to see you walk away.
Okay, let me stop, because that's a shame. I got my food. So we moved. I got my food, and I didn't get a text message this time. So it's getting better.
That's good.
It's getting better. So anyway, this fool said COVID creeping.
Creeping on the come up.
Hey, Eric talking about she knew he wasn't 6 feet. I'm convinced. Look. Here's the thing, man. When you order, okay, I ordered from 2 places at the same time. So I had 2 deliveries coming from different drivers. Okay, when you hungry like that, man, you're not thinking about any of that. I know everybody keep asking me like, well, how tall are they? What they look like? I don't know. All I want to see is that bag of food. Cause like, you have to know me. I don't play about my food. So when you start interfering with my food time, I really don't care. I don't care. So I do not know the measurements of anybody. All I know is whether or not my food is lukewarm or hot. That's all I'm concerned about. But it just kind of took me for a minute, because the first dude got me and then started texting me, have a nice day and everything else. And I was like, whoa, I mean, the it's over. I tipped, like, let's chill.
Transaction complete.
Done. All right, last game so we can complete this transaction of the show tonight, and that would be the Bucks versus the Saints. All right, you know.
History Channel Bowl.
Woo! 3rd time's the charm, they say. 3rd time's the charm. Now, y'all all know, if you don't know, you can go look on YouTube and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and see the last episode where when the Bucks played the Saints. and we had a guest on Q. Shout out from Beyond the Game to Q and Beyond the Game Kentucky. Let's be clear. And I switched my pick on the show to support his Bucks, and they just flat out embarrassed me. I mean, it was like I don't even know if they remembered they had a game. I think Brandon, you call it like a JV team playing that day. We didn't even consider it a real game, but I expect a more competitive game. But I know the media want Tom to win. I don't think the Saints can emotionally take another playoff loss.
Nope.
I just don't think they can take it. But I'm going with the Saints. Coach Pat?
I'm struggling with this one only because it's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially in the division, and it's Tom Brady on the other side. But I mean, last game was like a JV game versus a freshman, no, a varsity team versus a freshman team.
College.
So it was bad. It was bad. So um, the Bucks haven't got their running game straight, and the Saints are starting to have a running game. So I'm kind of confused with this one. So I'm
What you
gonna
mean
go
the
with.
Saints a kind of got a run game?
I mean, they had. I mean, they don't run the ball like they've been running the ball effectively lately. But at the beginning of
Okay.
the year, they wasn't running
But
the
we ain't
ball
on
like
the beginning of the year. That's why
so.
you stay in last place, because you looking back at
Whatever. I'm
analytics
going.
that don't
Okay,
matter.
forget all of that. I'm gonna
Okay.
go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Upset Bucks.
Okay. Yeah. So D Jones go. I'll say it later.
Bucks.
So the Saints are 3-point favorites in this game. Uh, of course, this is the third time this year, but the Saints have beat Tampa Bay 5 times straight. Um,
And Brady only been a quarterback 2 of those
Two of those
last
five,
five.
correct. Um, but you know how I feel about division games, and division foes know each other very well. I think you're going to see a different Tampa Bay team this week.
Okay.
I
Well,
think
who you?
um, Coach talked about the running game. Fournette looked great last week, running the ball, doing what they brought him in to do. I'm not sure what Jones' status is this week. One thing that
Yes.
we cannot overlook is the Saints, as good as they are, and as much respect as I have for them, Chicago wasn't really out of that game last week until the very end. The Saints didn't put up a lot of points on them. They wasn't moving the ball like we would expect them to do. I think they'll definitely be ready. They'll definitely get up for Tampa Bay. But I'm picking Tampa Bay to win this game. I think this will be another close game. I just think the numbers are in their favor. I think they're rolling right now. I think you're getting a good chemistry between AB and Brady, Mike Evans and Brady.
Gronk.
If Gronk as well, but if what's my man, good Godwin. How many passes did this dude miss?
I was just getting ready to say if he drops all those passes.
If he catches those balls, this game, if they got all those weapons in play, and as good as this, I have a lot of respect for the Saints defense. I think the Saints defense are going to put pressure on Brady. That's going to be a big key to this game if they can handle the pressure that the Saints bring. But I think I'm rolling with Tom. Terrific playoff Tom, and I think they get the win this week.
So yeah, I'm good with being solo. But the other thing I thought about, I think I thought maybe Thomas would be in a better groove this week too. You know,
I
because
mean, you
they had
can't
been
guard it.
playing.
I
Because
don't
they,
think it's about him. I think it's more about Breeze.
I know, but still, I mean, he ain't been there. I mean, it just is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
So, and he
But
was a main.
I'm saying more about Breeze. I think I'm starting to see Breeze age. I don't know if you guys see it, but he can't make
Yeah,
all the same throws that he would normally make.
correct.
People was talking about how Tom couldn't throw the ball deep. Tom don't have to throw the ball deep. He throws it where he needs to throw it. And I'm not seeing the same thing from Drew right now. So that's why I give them that edge. But that's why I say it's not necessarily about Mike. I think you can't guard Mike, like he said. But it's whether Breeze can get those plays that he normally is accustomed to getting.
Well, this will be your one chance, Coach Pat, to be ahead of me. I mean, you stay behind me in life anyway, so this is your
His life.
chance. This is your moment to shine. And so
Bro, she said it like
we'll be back next week to talk about our winners and our losers and basically who's in the AFC championship and who's in the NFC championship. I'm actually looking forward to that. Um, Dang, man, no Super Bowl party this year. I don't know how that's going to work for a sister, but I'm going to see how I feel about that. I love getting up for Super Bowl. Y'all don't know how emotional this is for me. Like, this has been a very different year, season. It's been a rough one for your girl. And I'm getting antsy because as closer as we get, I'm getting hype about the idea, but I'm also getting a little let down because I'm like, man, I can't go to Orlando. I just, I
it's
don't even know
coming.
how to, huh?
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's got to hurry. But even though this is not important to you today, I just have to share this. Like, so this fall, I will finally get my last stadium in my completion of seeing the Texans play on the road in every NFL stadium. I only had one left, and that's Buffalo. So I'm going to get Buffalo this season. And I'm already planning, guys. I'm already planning. Brandon, you're going. I don't care where you work. You need to call in sick. If you're not there, our friendship is in jeopardy. And then, so just get ready. And if I invite you and you don't come, our friendship is in jeopardy. Because, I mean, how could you miss that opportunity to, get the, last stadium with me? It's going to be so epic. But with all of that, Coach Pat, go ahead and just tell the folks how they can find you whenever they're interested in talking to a loser and finding out how to stay up.
Who not to pick?
Hey, Coach, whatever. Coach B. Pat.
I love you, B. I love you, B. Coach said, I quit. It's whatever. Coach B. Pat. He on Twitter and Instagram at Coach B. Pat.
Twitter, Instagram, Coach B. Pat. Follow me. D. Jones.
And if you see him in a ref uniform, be afraid.
Give him hell.
I got two of them this weekend, so no problem.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at djones9804 or on Twitter, that boy D Jones.
I'm always laughing at how you say that boy. And look, Christmas is over, so the mail is doing a little better. We don't have the mail-in vote delays or anything else. So you can always head over to thegransberry.com and pick up a copy of the Gransberry Gridiron Guide because there is still time to learn the basics of football before the big game in February. And yes, I will sign them. I will put that autograph on there. So you can always find me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at the Gransberry. So click, subscribe, like, follow, whatever makes you happy. And like your girl says always, catch you next time.